The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is one of the most popular speedrunning games of all time. The main reason for this are the incredible movement glitches that were discovered over time, allowing Link to traverse the huge map of Hyrule seamlessly. But it also helps that the developers gave players a huge amount of freedom when it comes to tackling objectives in any order they want. Next to classic speedrun categories like any percent and 100%, this is what spawned a giant amount of meme speedruns. These are runs with a very random but fun goal to get to as fast as possible. There is die percent, where you kill Link as fast as possible. There is bread percent, where you speedrun making bread. I even made up a category called get laid percent, where you spend the night with Paya as quickly as you can. It was the start of the pandemic, okay? I must have been down bad, but people seem to enjoy it. There is one speedrun on this collection of meme runs that actually has a surprising amount of tech to it and has changed quite a bit over the years. This run is marriage percent, a speedrun where you reach the game's wedding ceremony as fast as possible. For the route through the game, that means that you have to beat the Great Plateau to be able to leave, then buy Link's house in Hateno by paying 3,000 rupees and 30 wood to Bolson, since this will start the From the Ground Up quest, which eventually will allow you to build a new town called Terrytown. For that quest, you have to continuously visit Terrytown's construction in Akala, pay Hudson the Builder some wood, and then seek out new residents of the place all over Hyrule. Once Terrytown is completed, Hudson the Builder has found the love of his life in the process and marries her in a big ceremony. The problem with this run's wholesome goal was that at first, reaching it kinda sucked. Since you need 140 pieces of wood to buy Link's house and complete a new town, a majority of this speedrun was actually spent cutting down trees at Satori's Mountain's big apple orchard. And then, when you finally had enough wood, you had to get lucky enough from these random ore deposits to drop enough gemstones to be able to afford the house, which was 3,000 rupees. This, however, has all changed completely, thanks to a new and exciting glitch. The run is now completable in under 50 minutes, and today I will show you how. This is how you buy a house and get two people married in under 1 hour. This is the marriage percent speedrun. So at this point you've probably seen at least 50 different speedruns through the Great Plateau, since it's part of every Breath of the Wild run, so I'll keep it short. You wake up in a Shrine of Resurrection, clip out of it with the Sheikah Slate, but in this category, run to the front of the shrine to watch the first cutscene of the game. It's faster to do it this way because you skip the second door of the shrine. This cutscene has to be watched because it starts the progression of time of day in the game, and Grayson, the Goron resident of Terrytown, can only be talked to later at the mines at nighttime when he takes his break. From here you collect some useful items, weapons and shields, and then slide your way to the Bombs Shrine. Complete it by doing a quick wind bomb, and then slide your way over to the tower. The tower is needed for the route since it activates all of the game's shrines and also allows us to warp to them. There is a shrine right next to Terrytown, and since we have to return to it like 6 times, it's much faster to get the tower now and then use the shrine teleport later to fast travel. Usually, there is actually a big invisible wall around the tower after you activate it to force you into meeting the mysterious old man right after, who will tell you to beat the shrines. A cool trick here is to wind bomb just over said wall. However, we don't have the glider yet, and this fall would surely kill us, so by looking at this forest here, you can make the game lag so much that the wind bomb is forced to end and Link returns to neutral position. From this, you can actually then perform a fall damage cancel, which allows you to survive this impressive stunt. Then, it's just time for Magnesis, Stasis and Cryonis, which are all collected by sliding to them with bombs, and then usually completed by skipping their interior with wind bombs. When you then finally slide to the Temple of Time and pick up your glider, you are free to go wherever you want, and we have a wedding to attend, even though the people getting married might not know yet, but that's okay. Our first goal from here is to buy our house in Hateno, so we slide there right away from the Great Plateau. Not before stopping by this monster camp though, where we can use one of the older tricks to bullet time bounce all the way up to the Shea Vanir Shrine on top of Dueling Peaks. This shrine will act as a useful fast traveling hub later when we want to bomb slide to other regions like Elden to invite the other residents. Once we got that war point, we continue the journey to Hateno and let Wright at our house to talk to Bolson to begin negotiations. He wants 3,000 rupees and 30 wood for it. Unfortunately, however, we are completely broke. But this is where Breath of the Wild's newest glitch comes in clutch. After getting another war point in Hateno here, because we have to invite Bolson and the other guy, I forgot his name, to the wedding later, we can perform inventory slot transfer, or IST for short. This super intricate glitch allows us to simply mess around with our inventory a bit and then sell specific items to the shopkeeper to duplicate others. So 2 pieces of wood will then become 999 pieces of wood, for example. If you want to know exactly how this works, I made a relatively simple video about it on my channel, which I will link in the description. Oh, and since you're already down there, I'm really close to 80,000 subscribers. And if you aren't subscribed yet, I would really appreciate it if you did. I have some really big video projects planned between now and Tears of the Kingdom, so I promise it's worth it. Anyway, back to IST, our item duplication. When performed right, our inventory after this glitch looks like this. 999 Endura mushrooms, which can be sold right away for 6,000 rupees, way more than you need for the house. 999 wood, which solves all of our construction problems. And 300 truffles, which will be a casual snack when flying around Hyrule to invite the other residents. After we are done in this shop, we run over to the clothing store and pick up a warm doublet. Its cold protection will help us to not die when we slide from all the way up high at Dueling Peaks over to Elden, for example. You actually can't open the menu to eat while you slide, or you would simply fall down. So this doublet comes in clutch. We also actually need a shirt in order to talk to Faison in Rito Village, or he simply won't listen to us. No, literally, he just tells us to go and get dressed instead. After picking up the shirt and windbombing back to the construction team, we can now buy the house and start the Tarrytown quest with Hudson. This is where the real run begins. From here, you can make your way to Tarrytown immediately by windbombing up to Hateno's tech lab and then sliding all the way to Akala to the construction site. Somehow Hudson is already here, so I guess he's just better than me at speedrunning, but anyway, we can talk to him and give him the first 10 wood, and he sends us to pick up Grayson. Grayson is a builder and works at the southern mine on Death Mountain, but he works throughout the day and doesn't have time for us until his break at night. So we wait at a campfire to make it nighttime and then teleport. This is where our Dueling Peaks war point comes into play. Since it's so high up, we can simply start a slide from here and then travel all the way over to Death Mountain, having just enough height to reach the southern mines. With only 3 hearts, it's important to stuff Link with enough truffles so that he can survive the light burning sensation. But once landed, we can talk to Grayson and invite him to Tarrytown. We now go back to the site and talk to Hudson again. This time he wants 20 wood and then asks us to invite his future wife into town. He pretends he just wants this random seamstress to work for him, but I feel like he already knows Ronson and is planning to date her. Kinda sus. Now, Ronson is actually asleep until 5 AM, so again, we wait at the campfire until morning. Then teleport back to the Great Plateau's Cryonis Shrine and slide from here to the Karakara Bazaar in the desert to meet with her. She does decide to come to Tarrytown, even though she walks the wrong way. Maybe she's grabbing some things from her home first, but once we get back to Hudson, he now wants us to find someone to run the general shop and 30 wood. And after delivering, we teleport once again to the Cryonis Shrine and can slide from here to Rito Village, where we will meet Faison, the future shop owner. This is the guy who doesn't listen to Link unless he is dressed, and for some reason a lot of people in Rito Village have this trait. With the warm doublet on though, he does decide to come with us, and we follow him with our teleport ability. Now we talk to Hudson again, and I don't know this man's strategies, but he's already engaged to Ronson after having met her like 3 minutes ago. Either he is the most smooth man in Hyrule, or he just makes it up. And giving Ronson's reactions at the wedding, that could actually be more likely, but that's not my concern in this run. Finally, Hudson also wants 50 wood now, but thankfully we still have like 800 from the glitch, so that's no problem at all. This time, he wants us to invite a priest from Zora's domain by the name of Capson to conduct the wedding ceremony. Again, our Dueling Peaks war point here is perfect, allowing us to slide just over the surrounding mountains into the domain and to meet Capson before the city can really properly load in. Capson does talk a lot, but eventually decides to go to Terrytown and conduct the wedding. We follow, but our fetch quest still isn't over. This quest does pay 3 diamonds at the end, so I guess it's worth, especially with speedrun strats, but now Hudson wants us to invite his friends Bolson and the guy with the name I can't remember. I'm sure people in the comments know, but we do go back to where it all started, in Hateno Village, and invite them over. Now finally, after traveling the entire world, we return to Terrytown just in time to attend the wedding ceremony with a final time of 48 minutes and 56 seconds. Everyone just seems so happy, I guess, and the speedrun comes to its wholesome end. If you want to see more Breath of the Wild speed and challenge runs, or you are interested in my new upcoming series about learning new games and get good at them quickly, again, consider subscribing. I hope you enjoyed this wholesome but morally questionable meme speedrun and my explanations to it. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.